How to decide which tech integration for a healthcare mobility startup will be the most useful and efficient in terms of managing customer, operations, and fleet? Which area should one focus on initially?
So is the question between, so there are three aspects, right? Can you repeat that? So customer mobility, what are the three aspects? Customer experience?
One is, of course, the mobility. The second part talks about the managing customers, operations, fleet.
Yeah, look, again, I need a lot more details, and I'm happy to connect separately as well. I need a lot more details to understand, what are the aspects of customer integration. Again, based on the 1MG journey, if I could do things again, I would probably prioritize the ops integration much earlier than I did, right? Because you have to think of in the grand scheme of things, right? So you are delivering a service to a customer. Everything that you do improves the experience of the customer, right? So let me break it broadly into three portions. So one is key when I come to, let's say, a site like 1MG, how easy is the booking experience, right? Do I take a minute? Do I take 5 minutes? Does the payment work, etc., etc., etc. The second is once I place an order, uh, do I get the order in time? How's the delivery experience, right? How's the communication? Um, do we get late, etc. And the last part is that when things go wrong, right, then do I sort that out quickly, efficiently, adequately or not, right? So broadly three. So one is booking experience, second is the operational experience, the third is when I screw up, how do I do it, right? In my view, the majority of the value lies in the middle portion, which is that for supply chain companies, for delivery companies, where you're delivering a service, right? Because it takes 2 minutes to place an order. If it becomes 3 minutes instead of two, it's still fine. But if you're supposed to deliver a service and you deliver a crappy service because you're let's say because of lack of technology integration, you cannot manage the resources, you cannot give customers real-time insights into what's going on with your order, etc. It's a crappy experience for the customer. So without too much information, if I was to prioritize, I would probably prioritize the portion which is ops related, so that you can deliver superlative experience to customer. If customers get great experience, then they will come back even if the front end technology is poor, and then you don't have a huge problem to worry about in the latter portion of, let's say, customer support, etc. Once you do this, then I would maybe come to the front line, improve the sequence in which orders, etc., are placed, and then go to the customer experience portion. Make sure when we screw up, we actually make it very, very simple.
Yeah. What challenges did you face in supply chain management in rural or remote areas to maintain your TAT turnaround time? And what all measures did you take to overcome these challenges? So, supply chain in healthcare, which is your strongest area, we want to know something around this.
Yeah, look, again, there are lots of challenges in the rural area, right? And uh, they are as mundane as, let's say, electricity, labor, internet, right? And everything that we take for granted in cities like Gurgaon, Mumbai, etc., which is you get good roads. When rains happen, your warehouses they do flood sometimes, but not as frequently, right? You can get a lease line to your warehouse, etc. A lot of those challenges are just at a different level when you work in a rural setting, right? So typically we will face challenges on places, we will face challenges on electricity, we will face challenges on even getting approvals, right? Uh, getting approvals in a city like Gurgaon is very easy because it is reasonably professional, etc. They are used to, let's say, e-commerce companies, but rural India works very differently, right? In the sense that there's a lot of connect, and some MP, MLA somewhere is getting, has a business that maybe gets threatened with e-commerce, and he doesn't want you to set up a facility there, right? Or some stuff like that. I mean, making up stuff, but the dynamics are very different, and so the navigation required in rural settings becomes that much more harder. So internet connectivity, which is like mandatory for our operations, is often not is often choppy, right? In the sense that we may lose internet for 2 days in a row, and then everyone in the in the rural setting has to work on, let's say, your hotspots and stuff, right? You may not have electricity, so generator becomes maybe a must-have, right? And the moment you have generator, your cost goes through the roof because you're paying 2x of what you would pay the commercial rates, right? Labor is a challenge because, again, rural work criteria and urban work criteria are very different. Chutti hui and everyone's gone, doesn't want to come, etc. So just a different level of challenges. Professionalism is different, right? People in urban settings, for instance, treat work more professionally. In rural settings, that professionalism is maybe not where we need it to be. We have often had our rural warehouses get flooded, right? थोड़ी सी बारिश हुई या sewage overflow हो गया, पूरा warehouse flood हो गया. And we've had to get water pumps, etc., to take water out. There's sometimes there's intimidation. So I think the idea is, it's all about building, and you learn how to solve these problems, right? So all of these are solvable problems. In no way am I saying oh, it's very hard. I'm just saying that the level of challenges that you will face in setting up an urban supply chain is very different from a rural supply chain, right? But there are benefits to that also. And the benefit is, for instance, that today, tier 2 plus, right? So we only talk about metro tier 1. Tier 2 plus is a huge percentage of our business, over 30%. And the reason it's an over 30% business is because the core challenge there is accessibility, right? One of the pillars that I talked about at 1MG was accessibility. Rural or semi-urban has a reasonable amount of spending capacity, but doesn't have enough options available. And when it comes to healthcare, it's not about options, but it's actually a core need, right? Most people come to cities and they need to go back and have access to the same medicines. So there's definitely, disproportionate benefits as well if you can solve that problem. My recommendation is that, early on we built a fairly strong team, which worked as a center of excellence and was able to build relationships and sort these problems out, with vendors, with stakeholders, etc. So if you're doing something in rural, make sure that you have that team set up, and you can figure out how this works.